Hello everyone, my name is Caden and welcome back to more, if it'll show up on the screen. There we go. Chaos Child. Last time we got to learn more about our characters and more murders and stuff, so yeah, let's just continue. By the time I got back home, the sun had long since set. It was past 8 p.m. I realized that I'd barely eaten anything since arriving at the Love Hotel and suddenly felt very hungry. So I'd eaten a meal at Lax.
Hey, I've been wondering since the last time you came here. Did you change your hot water pot? It used to be more... Oh, you made this into a closet.
Sarah had followed me home. She started to glance around the room and offer her opinions on the way it was laid out. She would open drawers and be surprised even though there was nothing important inside, or look at new files about the cases and tell me their contents at a glance. She always was a little strange like that. She'd be surprised by the most obvious things, but sometimes she would show startling insight. And wait, you're really excited about something, aren't you? She laughed another strange laugh. Is it that much fun to try and solve this case?
It's more like it feels wrong to give up on something you want to do until you've really given it your all. No matter how it ends up, it's the only way anything matters. You're going to die someday, but you aren't dead right now.
I guess that's one way of putting it. I see, I thought. She was right. A sound came from my PC. The copy operation was finished. Okay, now delete the original in the online storage.
Huh? Why?
Just because of what it is. I don't want anybody seeing it.
This is my private storage, so it should be okay.
Even so, I want there to be no chance that someone else can access it. Actually, delete the one on your Pokécom too.
Okay, Taku, what are you doing?
You know what? I'm gonna regret this decision, aren't I? I've done so many negatives, let's balance it out with some positive. She looked over at me while she rifled through my bookcases. Making kakonto? What?
Huh? What kind of food is that?
Are you serious? It's a herbal drink. Gen-san gave it to me. It keeps you from vomiting.
Wow, amazing to know about something like that.
I'm gonna regret this. And then some information I'd found before flashed across my mind. Of course, it was from I already regret this. I read about it in a certain special aid run. If you put eye drops into a beer, it'll make it bash my brain in on how stupid that sounds. At the time, I hadn't believed it. You shouldn't! The nurse just said if you put eye drops in soda, it would make a girl go to sleep. Philosopher's liquid? Adding eye drops into a drink create an unusual sight. Fuck off. I heard a rumor that it was just an urban legend, though. No shit. What happened if you put eye drops in the cunt? I hope it makes her explode. We just get a sea of red, and then we cut back to reality. There's a stupid teenage girl who didn't even know what Kakonto was right in front of me. Should I try it? No. Dumbass. No. Pair 2 cups like a... You're just... This is just drugging. This is just like... What's it called? Roofing? With eye drops? I gave her a cup acting very natural.
Thanks.
She took a drink without suspecting things. She just vomits everywhere. I gulped as I watched her. Bleep.
何どうかした
What's wrong?
いや、
No, nothing. Bleep.
こ
This
れ
is
ま
terrible.
ず
It tastes like mess.
No shit, it does.
い。
漢方薬だ
Well,
から
it's
な。
Chinese herbal medicine after all. With added eye drops. I decided to watch and see what would happen. Bleep.
っていうか、
I feel kind of...
I swear to God.
この部屋
Is it hot?
暑
Don't
く
do
ない
this to me. I'm getting ready to zoom over to the shut off display button. She seemed to be kind of spacing out. Was it starting to work already? I didn't expect it to work so fast.
Itaku?
なんか私、
No.
すっごく
No.
変な感じなんだけど、
No. Wiggle. No.
ちょっとトイレ借りる。
No.
トイレ
What are you going to do in the
何する
bathroom?
気だ
それは、
Secret. No.
内緒っておい
Don't like this. Hate this, in
No.
fact.
トイレで
No. Don't like this.
言わせないでよ。
Don't like it.
そうか別に
No
トイレ行くのはい
liking.
いけど
別に
Oh,
トイレ行
what
きた
do you mean? Okay. For God's sakes. I hate him. Sarah was looking at me surprised. Cheeks weren't flushed and her expression was normal. No shit.
どうしたの急に。
I knew I'd regret that, and yet I did it anyways. This is why I picked most of the negative ones.
Where'd that come from?
あいや
Oh, no, never mind. I desperately tried to recover as I drank my own Kakanto. I hadn't found any eye drops on the shelf, so I'd given up on the experiment. Sarah complained about the taste, but swallowed it down anyway.
それにしても、
Gensen's such a
ゲンさん
nice guy,
いい人
though.
だよね。
I like him.
I'm-
好きだな。
There is a
私
part of me that's starting to wonder, like, Gensen's gotta be important to the plot. Like, we're gonna see who it is eventually. What if it's Takumi? That'd be hilarious. I feel like Takumi's gotta be relevant to the plot, considering how often we're talking about the new gen serial killings. I feel like surely we gotta at least see some mention of Takumi, or maybe even one of the previous girls, or whatever.
酒癖
I
の
wish
悪
you
さ
wouldn't
は
get so
どうにかして
drunk
ほ
so
しいけ
often,
ど
though.
でも、タクが
He's your
公
only
園で
real friend
気
here
許
at the
してる
park,
のって
right?
ゲ
So
ン
he
さん
really
だ
is
け
a
で
good
しょ。
guy.
やっぱりいい
Is
人
that
だよ。
why? Well, he did help me out a lot.
オッケー、
Okay,
削除したよ
it's。deleted.
Circa put away her Pokecom. Alright. I booted up my laptop next to the wall and sat down in the chair that folded out into a bed. As I went to load the video file into the player software, I happened to glance at its length.
26分
26 minutes. Were we
So
really in
many
that room
other
that
people.
long? Oh, Serica said.
違うと思
I don't
う。
think so. Right after you passed out the police ride, but I felt really sick and
す
started
ぐに
throwing up.
警察が
At
駆
some
け
point, I
つけ
grabbed
て
your phone and put it in my pocket.
私もそれで
And then,
警察
when
に
I
連
was
れ
in the
てかれ
police
る
car,
パト
I
カーの
realized I
中
had
で
it.
スマホの
That's
こ
when
と
I
に
stopped
気
it from
づいて
recording anymore.
そこで私が
So
録
that
画
was
ボタンを止めたから
Come to think of it, I hadn't asked her how it happened. I'm amazed you had time to upload to the storage before the police
ストレージに
deleted
上げる
it.
暇があったな
Serica nodded as if she felt the same way.
たまたまだよ
It was blind luck.
警察
When we
に
got
着
to
いた
the
時
station, I
に
felt
ま
sick,
た
so I
気
ran
持
to
ち
the
悪くなっ
bathroom.
ちゃって
And that's
ト
when I
イレ
got
に
the
駆け
idea.
込んで
No, I'm
すごい
really
と思う
impressed. I really was. I passed down the hotel, and the next thing I knew, I was at the station. Supposedly, I walked from the patrol car to my room, but my memory was vague and hazy. I took a big sip from the cup to force down my urge to vomit, and slowly let it sink into my stomach. If the recording was successful, then I should see what I saw back then. It happened only 2 days ago, but it had left such a strong impression on me that it didn't feel like that much time had passed at all. I took a deep breath and told myself it was time to do this. I looked over at Surica.
Yeah.
She nodded back at me, then looked at the monitor. Okay. I tried to steady my slightly shaking finger as I clicked the file. Hoo boy. Here we go. The first thing I noticed was the sound. The peaceful sound of a music box that filled the room, coming from that spinning bed. A dark, gloomy room. It had a curtain in the back and a rotating bed behind it. It was that room. The same emotion I experienced before came flooding back to me through the blurry screen. I could sense my own hesitation from my gasping breaths. Serka grabbed my shoulder at the sudden sound.
大丈夫
It's okay.
確
I
か
think
僕
just,
が
it's
床を
just
踏
where I
み
made
鳴
the
らした
floor
んだ
creak.
Oh, yeah,
そっ
I
か
see.
The camera was slowly moving toward the back of the room. At some point, my breathing matched my breathing from the recording. It scared me, so I pulled away a little and took a deep breath to isolate myself from the person in the video. I heard that sound. The sound of the wire creaking as the bed spun. I could feel the panic coming through the screen. I wasn't sure what to do.
進むぞ
I'm gonna keep going. I could tell that Serika was gulping a little. As I spoke, the camera kept moving forward. I could hear Serika's soft gasp in the video. The police officer and that woman were lying on the floor. I hadn't realized it at the time, but the glass was scattered all around. Oh god. The camera quickly panned without warning. It was that bed. The silhouette behind the curtain was probably that man. The angle was off and wasn't pointing directly at the bed. At that point, I'd stopped paying attention to the smartphone. Let's get out of here. Now. Whoops. I heard a dull thud and the screen went black.
う
Huh?
落
Did
と
you
した
drop
のか
it?
な
多分
Probably. It seemed like I'd tripped and fallen backward. The phone had probably fallen from my hands. Was it black because the camera had fallen face down?
Taku, the door went open.
Serko's voice sounded like it was a little far away. The smartphone was still picking up sound, evidently. You know what? What I'm curious about is, do you think we'll hear the same knocking sound? I could hear myself trying to open the door and swearing when I failed. That's right, I've been fighting with the door then. And then... there it is. So the police said that there was no person at the door knocking. But evidently we have video proof and audio proof that it did work. Or that it did happen. My body shivered as if it had gone numb. That was... I could hear it. Hey, you heard it? You heard that too, right?
Yeah.
I could hear it. The police said the surveillance cameras hadn't shown anyone else coming into the room, but I could hear it. That constant rhythmic knocking. Somehow it made me feel uneasy and scared. Someone had been on the other side of that door. And suddenly the screen moved.
Taku, we need to get out of here.
It was showing the man on the bed. The screen was blurry, but the man was almost exactly in the center of the viewfinder. I picked up the smartphone? I couldn't remember.
Taku!
In the video, I ignored Serika's voice and kept pointing the camera at the man. I could hear my own rough breathing, and I remembered how I'd felt then. Then suddenly I heard a snap. Yep, she woke up then. Mm-hmm. His head fell off. The screen moved violently for a second, and then for a moment it showed the girl. Then the angle changed again and it stopped moving. The screen was covered in red blood, but...
天井
is that the ceiling?
か
What I was looking at was probably the room's ceiling. Since it didn't move at all, this was probably where I'd passed out and dropped it. Just like before, the camera was still recording the sound. I could hear Serika's vomiting and what sounded like someone falling over. What? Hey, what happened here? It caught the police officers running into the room. They were asking Sirika what was going on. She's probably the only one there who is still conscious. Shortly after the screen went black, Sirika had probably put the phone into her pocket, just like she'd said. I could hear an irritating noise that must have been the sound of the phone scraping the skirt's fabric. The screen stayed black, but it kept picking up the nearby sound. Then at the very end, there was a quick shot of the inside of a patrol car. I realized at some point I'd leaned my body toward the screen. I sat back in my chair. I knew what was going to happen, but this was still hard. To be honest, I was lucky that the phone was dropped and a lot of it wasn't clearly recorded. I didn't feel as much of an urge to vomit as I expected, but I was still sweating from a nasty, unpleasant feeling. I gulped down the last bit of liquid in my cup.
Onoe.
Are you okay, Onoe?
大丈夫か?
I asked Sirika. And then...
Hitaku, do you see something weird at the end of the video?
What do you mean? What? Weird? The whole thing was weird. Not a second of it was normal.
Once we went further into the room...
Sirika moved the mouse to rewind the video. I couldn't tell whether she was tough, simply dense, or maybe just felt like it was nothing but a video. But she advanced through the shocking scenes with no hesitation.
Here, look, outside the window.
Oh. I could see the wall of the Love Hotel across the street from the open window. There's something there. Wait, don't tell me I was actually... I pointed that out before! I pointed that out before, that it looked like there was a person staring from the inside out. I didn't realize that would become important. Or from the outside in, I should say. Whatever. The point is, I didn't think it would become important. I pointed it out before. What is this?
A bug, maybe?
If there was a bug that big in it, Kurusu would go and blow up the whole building. She hated bugs.
Maybe some graffiti?
Why was her first answer a bug and her second answer a sensible one? No, wait, I've seen this before. Oh, is it what was it? It was the face that's been, the sumo? Was it sumo? What was it called? Is it in the tips list? I could have sworn it was something here. But we heard about this before. It's like the sumo face or whatever. I switched from my player software to my editing software, then blew up that part of the screen. Damn it, I could make it out, but it was so far away that it was blurry. The resolution was too low.
See, it is a bug. It's spreading its wings.
It is not. I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere. Who's at the door? What? I turn around at the loud noise. Hi. There's a drunk man with a ball of booze in his hand. Who are you? Give me a break. Of course, no one had been waiting for him. Make less noise when you come in. Is this Gensan?
Hey, Ginsan! Thanks for your help.
Okay, so it's not Takumi. There was a part of me that was kind of like, oh, what if Gensan's like an older Takumi or something? That'd be hilarious. Hey, me, my help.
Tell me about the thing at the Love Hotel, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm happening great. Taku wants to be a reporter after all. No, I didn't. According to Gen, every day I supposedly wanted to be a different thing. Last time I was a movie director. Yeah, return. Hey, let me hear, Taku. Look what I got my hand on. Help me remember me, huh? Where is it? He started patting down the pockets of his very old coat. This annoying old man was Gensan. He was the elder ruler of this park, the CEO of a company with a 3 billion yen in a year's salary, and the best friend of my father, Jiro. At least according to him. My dad's name wasn't even Jiro. He's related to a clan of foreign nobles, so if you ever need to, he could summon a foreign special forces team to do his bidding. I already like this guy. Except last week, his bed had been taken over by a stray dog, so he had to come stay with me. It's gone. The most important thing is gone. How am I supposed to pick?
Hey, Gensan, don't take off your pants.
Gensan was always loud when he got drunk, and when he got really drunk, he was even louder. Today, he wasn't very drunk. I had no idea what he was like when he was sober. I'd never seen it happen, or heard of it ever happening. Sometimes, or often actually, at least once a week, he'd come by my room drunk, talk for a while, then leave to search the park for more alcohol. I found it! I found it, Bishop! I found it! Look at it!
Look, absolutely not.
He was obnoxious as hell, to put it mildly, but I couldn't chase him away. Actually, I couldn't complain about him much at all. When I'd left the dorm half a year ago, I ended up in the bottom half of Miyashita Park. Since the upper half kept the rain off, the bottom half was one of the most popular spots. A lot of the reason I was able to get the spot and even get this RV was because of Gensan.
You're awful. Disgusting.
Back when I'd lived in the dorm, I'd done some cooking for the homeless in Miyashita Park as part of our volunteer activities. Gensan had remembered that. A noble man does not forget his debts, was all he said. And then somehow I'd been given this place. He was also the one who taught me how to get by in this place. Oh, right, Taku! Look at this. What to take it off my hands? Gensan took something out of his pocket. Oh, for God's sake. Not again! I ripped the copy of my favorite magazine out of his hand. I quickly glanced over to Sarika. Avert your eyes!
Gensan.
She was mumbling that over and over to herself. I thought she liked him. Good, she didn't see it. I breathed a sigh of relief and hid it someplace nearby. How much? Gensan raised a single finger. This was one rule, for example. It was the first thing I learned in the park. The homeless would never, ever ask you for money. It was the one thing they could never say. Money was either found lying on the ground, or earned by working or selling things. It wasn't something other people gave you. I took out a 100 yen coin from my wallet and gave it to him. Gensan grabbed it and put it in his pocket like he didn't really care. Hey, I haven't seen that a whole lot lately. He was looking at the PC monitor as he spoke. He knows it. For a moment, I didn't know what he meant. Huh?
Huh?
My eyes met Sarika's for just a moment. He knows it's the thing that I'm thinking of. Was it a sumo wrestler face or something? What was it specifically? The monitor was displaying that blurry, blown-up image. He saw it a lot. Hey, Gensan.
You know what this is?
I love playing baseball. He was in his own little world. What was this guy's problem? I got closer to him. Gensan, have you seen this before? Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere I go, like in front of station. Wait, what is the station again? Huh? You mean the train station? You mean Shibuya Station? I mean, you know. Wait, Taku, it was in the last thing you showed me, right? Huh? You know, a few years ago, when you did a stakeout in a karaoke box and were the first person to get something or other. That was last weekend, actually. When I'd been uploading the photos of the crime scene I'd taken from the karaoke box, Gensan had come by and seen them. This was it.
Oh, Taku, look!
It was an image of the karaoke box I'd hidden in to take pictures of the crime scene. It was on the 5th floor. I could see the same mark. I switched from the player software to the editor software just like before and magnified that part of the image. There it is! And then I realized what it was. That's right. I'd seen this thing before. And just like Gen-san said, it was something you could find all over Shibuya. Something that had been there for a long time. Man, this is a sumo wrestler sticker. So evidently the sumo wrestler stickers are, for some reason, very important. When I saw the club room for the first time in 3 days, I was stunned.
Yeah.
Man, I did my best. I've been waiting all morning to tell Ito the big discovery I made yesterday. I stayed up almost all night finding all the information I could on it, and then forced myself to wait until school ended to tell him. I figured that just sending pictures to his phone and trying to explain in words would just confuse him. I wanted to stand in front of the board in the club room with all the information we learned so far pinned up on it and use the club time to really work through it. But there was nothing there at all. I can only think of one person who would do that. Kurusu. This is when we left yesterday. She said it was too dangerous that she wasn't going to let you do it. Was it because of what happened in the Love Hotel? Hang on. Stretching out. In as angry voice as I can muster, I said, "Why did you stop her? I told you, I tried. She told me to shut though, so I did. You should have done something. Don't tell me to do the impossible. You've done something? Don't tell me to do the impossible." Ito shrugged as if to say, see? Just imagining it scared me a little. Doing something about Kurusu was absolutely impossible. No one in Hekiho was capable of such a thing. I pointed to the PC on the desk. What about the data? Just consider yourself lucky she didn't physically destroy the whole hard drive. So the data was gone too. Ito was probably joking, but if Kurusu thought she needed to do it, she would have. Onoe, what are you printing?
Here you go.
Sergio dropped a stack of papers on the desk. I looked down and saw his images and articles about the case. You are just a funny little enabler, aren't you, Seriko? It was the ones that were uploaded to the newspaper club server. Where did you get these?
Are you always telling me that a true right sider needs to make sure his stuff is backed up? And you got backups too, right?
Well, yes, but... Serika flipped through the papers.
For some reason, the image quality drops if I print off my Pokecom. I'll re-upload it to the server.
Wait a second. Serika went to stretch a cable from her Pokecom to the PC, but I quickly stopped her.
Is image quality good enough?
That's not it. I mean, the image quality's fine, but I prefer if you didn't upload it to the server for a while. I glanced at Ito as I spoke. The newspaper club server could be accessed from any PC in the school as long as you knew the password. Kurusu was spending her time at the student council getting ready for the culture festival, but there was a chance she might look at the server for some reason. Ito nodded in agreement, a serious look on his face.
You two are too afraid of Nan-chan. She's nice, really? Right, Hana-chan?
The gamer.
See?
See what? Was Kazuki agreeing? She was just pounding down the keyboard and mouse really hard.
That's because she likes you. That's right, we visited every crazy stall in Shibuya here. Nan-chan knows all about sweets.
Serika puffed out her chest, very proud of this information. I didn't care in the slightest. Oh, no sweets. I like chocolate.
Now you're right, I think Nan-chan's gonna find out.
What? That was probably true, yeah. If we kept pursuing the case as part of our work with the newspaper club, Kurusu was smart enough to catch on.
It's okay, she'll understand once you talk to her.
I simulated a variety of situations in my head. Yeah, that was about the most obvious delusion dialogue I think I've ever heard. I want to see the worst of the worst. I'm just gonna bash my head into the back of my chair. Kurusu loved sweets. This was something that Serica had said and that I'd known about too. So would buying her something that she liked from a famous sweet shop be enough to win her over? I don't know if she's Mimose. Would bribery work on someone as prim and proper as a student council president? It was worth a try. Let's see the worst possible scenario. Unless we could win her over, we weren't going to be able to continue with the case.
Yosh.
Okay, let's go buy something to bribe her with. Ito, find me the top 3 most famous sweet shops in Shibuya.
Leave to me. Vice President's heart is yours.
It's time for the mission to begin. Oh boy. There you go. This is a present for you, Kurusu. I'm gonna get thrown out the damn window in this delusion, aren't I? I'm about to go fly. I knew that Kurusu was staying late after school to get ready for the festival. Hand her the present I just bought. Aida had found me a pancake place near Shibuya Station. It's a popular store that always had a line of girls outside. I heard it was one of the few places where you could get pancakes for takeout, so I quickly chose it. She hates pancakes. Standing in line with the girls for an hour was almost torture, but I somehow managed to do it.
Are these pancakes from egg and things? Are these pancakes from egg and things?
Yeah, why?
What are you planning?
You don't need to say that after I was nice enough to go buy you something.
You never bought me a present before. You're after something, aren't you? Ito-kun, what's going on here? I guess we're bribing you, so let's keep working on the case.
Hey, dumbass. You asshole! You could have put up a more of a fight than that. I'm sorry, Miyashiro. I can't fight the Tarver's there.
I'm glad you got me something, but I can't accept this.
Kurusu handed the pancakes back to me. She was always so serious about this stuff.
You two enjoy them. They're very good.
Her face was smiling, but her eyes weren't. Yep, that was about what I expected. Yeah, that's what would happen. Kurusu would see through any attempt at bribery I can make. It was a bad idea to try and buy her off. If I go save the game. We are still in chapter 1. Why would I want to split a pancake dinner with Ito anyway? Or would it work better if Ito didn't go with me? Okay, I've got it. Huh? You're sure? Ito must have been really surprised by my answer because he badly overreacted. I didn't think you were so brave. I'm always brave when it counts. Just don't put anything on the server yet. I want to be cautious.
Okay.
And for now, we'll put the information on the board, but when it's done, we'll take it off. Things are gonna get tricky. I like the way she says, okay. Oh. And for now, let's not tell Kurusu about the case. We can keep an eye on things until they calm down, and then bring it up when she's in a good mood after eating something sweet. Why is it so satisfying to hear? Okay. What is happening? Are you just being a pussy? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What? I'm not being a pussy. I'm choosing the method most likely to succeed. If you call that being a pussy, then the definition. No, don't explain that. Yeah, yeah, I got. Yeah. No, wait, I'm gonna put up the map. Hold that in. Stop saying okay. Ito and Serica took out a big map app we used for the board. This is the best way to persuade her. He didn't get it at all. There was no way I could persuade Kurusu if I tried to go after her head on. Wait, Miyashiro, let me be serious for a second here. He had a very serious tone in his voice as he hung up the top of the map. Huh? I've been serious all time. Is it okay, keep pursuing this case? I told you, I'll persuade her eventually. I'm not being a pussy, I'm just being cautious. That's not what I'm talking about. You saw something really bad, right? In the Love Hotel. Yeah. Osaka froze midway through the process of taping down the bottom of the map. So that was it. I hadn't told Ito anything about the Love Hotel. I hadn't told him anything about what I'd seen or experienced there. I tried my best to give him a cheerful smile. It's fine. No problem. This is way too big a scoop not to chase, right? Ito didn't answer. He stared at me as if trying to figure me out. And then he relaxed and laughed a little. Well, I figured as much when we talked on the phone. He was probably talking about the call I'd made yesterday. After I'd made my discovery, I called Ito and asked him to find all the information he could about the Love Hotel case. It had already been 3 days since it happened. I hadn't really been following it at all, so I'd asked Ito to put together what he could find.
Okay, all set.
Serika finished pinning the map to the board. Okay, let's get started. How many times am I gonna... I'm starting to get very conscious of the word okay, and I do not like it. There's a brand new map of Shibuya. Is this one... Okay, it's the same. I wanted to look at the bottom right here. What... Shine on, you crazy youth. There's a photo of Onoe and Kurusu. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I need to see something real quick. I need to look at the dates again to remember something. Because I have a bad feeling. October 10th. Vampire. On that Hecky Ho Festival poster thing on the bottom right, it says the date, October 10th. So, I have a very bad feeling about that date. Ugh. Sorry. There's a brand new map of Shibuya. We'd had to put it up from scratch again, but now that I looked at it, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. I made a huge discovery which could impact the whole case. It was a good idea to start over from the beginning. First, we'll assume that there's a connection between the dates when these incidents are happening and the incidents from 6 years ago. In other words, we'll consider all 3 cases so far as part of the set. This is regardless of whether someone's behind all this or what they might be after. Yeah, makes sense now that there have been 3 incidents. If we find out we're wrong, we can reconsider things then. Yeah. Alright, let's start with locations. First case, Don't Look, took place in Jinan. Jinan happened over here. So, here's the picture of the body. Oh, I actually have to select it. The first case, Don't Look, took place in Jinan. Don't Look is this one. Yeah, this is Jinan. Don't Look. And here's a summary of the case. By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago on the same date was the group dive. This one. The group dive took place over here. And here's a summary of the case. So these 2 are connected. That's it for the first case. Let's move on to the second. Arguably happened in Shinsen, so... over here. Here's the picture of the body. So we're looking at audio bleed. Audio bleed is this one. And here's a summary of the case. There we go.
ちなみに
By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago on the same date was the man-child.
妊娠男
This
だ
one.
からでその概要
And
が
here's a summary of the case. So those two cases are connected then. Interesting that I wonder...
よし
Okay,
Just
finally,
saying,
the one that
how
took
much
place in
can-
the Love Hotel. That
Also,
happened in the Love
Dogenzaka no
Hotel area in
Dogonzaka.
Dogenzaka, so... We don't have a name for this one yet, do we?
で
So, about the summary... I looked at Ito and I could see he was nervous. He was worried, but at the same time a little excited. Huh?
どうした
What's wrong? You
大丈
okay?
夫かいや
Yeah.
So
At
then-
first, can you show me what you put
まずは
together? I want to know what the
伊藤がまとめ
public
てき
knows
たのを
about
見
it.
せてくれる
I
か
saw the name they gave it.
世間では
Oh, yeah.
わかった
Just give me a sec.
ちょっと待ってな
So what name did the public give this case? Ito got out his own Pokecom and started to fiddle with it. He linked to the printer over the network and printed out his files. Wait,
やっぱサー
you're
バー
not
には
upping
上
them
げ
to
ないん
the
じゃんか
server after all, are you?
当たり前
Of
だ
course not. I don't want to get
殴られる
punched.
のは嫌だ
だから
I told you you're too
怖がりすぎだ
scared
っ
of
て
her.
ば
No shit. I skimmed the printout that Ito had made for me. After all the cases we researched together, he knew how to summarize information into a single page like a pro. Ito read from his own printout.
名前が発表
The
され
name
た
was
のは
announced
昨
last
日の
night.
夜
The
だ
victim was
死んだの
Kachida
は
Hironori,
柿田
a
博典
20-year-old resident of
22歳
Shibuya. He had a
渋谷
part-time
在
job
住
at
で
SafeWorks.
更新である
更新
SafeWorks?
なんで知らないんだ
How can you not know about them? They're a huge successful venture capital firm. They've been making a lot of money lately off of the Shibuya reconstruction.
渋谷ニュースの情
Just
報
like
通
Shibuya
り
News said, he was a male
20
in
代
his
の男性
20s.
ださすが
Nice.
そこは
So
チェ
you
ックし
checked
てる
there.
か
That was about the only thing I could do, Ito says. He nodded.
つうか
Wait, she said
20代
he was in
って
his
言及
20s
し
at
た
the
のは
night
事
it
件の
happened.
あった日
At
のネ
that
トラ
point,
ジ
the
放送
only
だ
official announcement was that the
まだ
man's
その
body
段
had been
階では
found.
どのったくどうやっ
Jeez,
て
where did
調
she
べてる
find
ん
this
だか
stuff? I couldn't agree more. How did Keisan do her research?
死因は首
Cause
吊り
of
によ
death
る
was
窒息
strangulation
死
due to hanging. They
地上
decided it
の
was
もつれから
a
の自殺
suicide
と
after
断
a
定され
romantic
た
quarrel.
え
Huh? A suicide? Over a fight with a lover. After you see the footage, or after you see the photo of what the body looks like, you're gonna be hard pressed to call this a suicide.
自殺
It
と
was
断
ruled
定
to
さ
be
れ
a
たのか
suicide.
ああ
Yeah, that's what the
警
cops
察
said.
はそう発
The
表し
only
た
other information that
あと出ている
they
情報とい
came
え
out
ば
with was that
まあ
he was pretty good at
死ん
his
だ
job.
柿田は優
He
秀
made
だ
a
ったって
surprising amount
ことくらい
on
か
off the commission sales job.
出来高のある地上のも
So
つれ
who'd he get into a fight with?
その相手は
Huh?
あいや
I mean, if he had a fight with his girlfriend,
交際してい
that
た
means
相
he
手が
had
い
a
たはずだろ
girlfriend, right?
ああ
Oh,
な
I
る
see.
ほどな
So who's the other person? Ito looked through a bunch of files on his Pokecom.
いや
No, I don't
そ
have
れに
anything
関
on
しては
that.
何もない目撃者は
What about witnesses?
発見した
The
のはホテル
hotel
の
staff
従
are the
業員
ones
だ
that
けど
found him, but
そ
nothing
れ
else
以
is
外には
said.
何も
Of course, there was nothing
も
about
ちろ
you
ん
two
お前
either.
らのことも出て
Weird. What's going on? So they hadn't said anything about the other girl at the scene. Who is the other girl? The only time we've seen her is in a delusion, but again, that doesn't really count.
タク
Taku.
Sarika was staring at me, confused. She's probably thinking the same thing. Also, again, you look at how the body's hung up. That's not a suicide. You can't accidentally, or not even accidentally, you can't... There's no way you're gonna... I can understand why there wasn't any information about us. The police had said there wouldn't be, and to be honest, we were just gawkers. There's no real point in telling anyone we were there. I was about to say, we're not really the most important information. Sure, we were there, but... Honestly, at most, they could just say we were annoying journalists. Which, fair. But that girl clearly seemed to be involved in the case. Yeah, she doesn't make sense. Why would they not explicitly talk about her? What is her connection to all this? Why was she in there in the first place? Why'd she apparently attack an officer out of, like, emotional distress or whatever? Like, why was she, like, what was she thinking? And we saw before that the other, I can't even remember his name, but the other detective that we're following on the side who's talking to Momose, whatever Momose told him to say, when he said it to the girl, she started responding. One thing that I am very curious about that I actually don't know about yet is, are we going to have D-swords in this game as well? If you don't remember, maybe I guess I could go ahead and explain for those who don't know. If you didn't watch Chaos Side Noah, though you absolutely probably should watch Chaos Side Noah before playing this. But the point is, D-swords were a thing that existed back in Chaos Side Noah. It was kind of like how fighting with delusions or whatever. I'm gonna summarize this terribly, and there are a million times better ways to see them. But point is, only certain people had them. They're very special. Very powerful. But I'm wondering if they exist in this game too. If they said he got into a fight with his girlfriend, then it did not it didn't make sense not to report the girl who was there. Was it because she was a minor? I wasn't sure, but she had looked young. She definitely wasn't older than 19. No, even then, they'd said something. Whenever there was a problem with someone dating underage girls, they never reported the girl's name, but they always reported her existence. What's wrong? I'll explain. Yeah, you're gonna want to hear this. Anyways, what's this case's name? I pinned up the information that Ito had given me. I wanted to look closer. It's just called the Love Hotel Incident. The victim was Kakita Hironori, part-time marketer at SafeWorks. The incident took place at Doganzaka Love Hotel on the 29th. The victim was seated on a revolving bed with 2 wires hung up from fixed points on the ceiling wrapped around his neck. The bed began to turn. Strangling him was particularly notable. What was particularly notable is that the bed continued to revolve even after his death, and eventually his head was apparently sliced off. Kakita was said by clients to have been so good at a shot and was likely to reading our minds. There's another problem here. There is another connection that all three of these incidents have. Even though the text is small here, and it's probably way too blurry on the recording to even see, but let me explain. All 3 people had another similarity, aside from the dates matching up with the new gen. In the Don't Look case, Utani was claimed to have some sort of "today I earned" or something. He had some sort of programmed or whatever that helped him almost predict things unnaturally, right? Then, let's go back, talk about Audio Bleed. Takayanagi. It was claimed that that there was something about her voice that was special, that it kind of almost entranced people. Even she hated it, though. And now, the Love Hotel incident. It says at the end here, at the end of this Love Hotel incident, that he was so good at his job that it was like he was reading our minds. For some reason, all these victims seemingly have some special power almost. Predicting the future, an enchanting voice, and mind reading. Why is it that these people seemingly all have a connection in some kind of supernatural power? That's really odd. Anyways. Picture from the body from the Love Hotel is this one. The Love Hotel case. What's this? A picture I took of the Love Hotel. Huh? You took pictures? You'd almost jumped on me in shock. I nodded. More specifically, I took a frame from the video I recorded and printed it out. I know I uploaded it to a private storage before the police could delete it. Seriously? Oh wow, that means that nobody has this but us! Ito put his face up to the picture in excitement. What? He hung himself? Sitting down? Is this wire? He moaned to himself as he stared at it, trying to memorize every last detail. What is this? What the hell happened here? As I listened to Ito speak excitedly, I looked towards Serica. I wasn't sure why I was looking at her.
but she nodded as if she understood. I nodded back. The police had told us not to tell anyone, but I didn't care. I slowly started to explain what had happened to Ito, how he'd made it into the hotel undetected, how the room we'd seen from the outside was where we'd found the body, how we'd gone inside and found the police officer lying on the floor, how the body in the photo was sitting on a spinning bed and slowly rotating, how there'd been another girl there and how someone had tried to enter the room. But I didn't tell him how the door had unlocked itself. The police had told me that I'd imagined it, and they'd made me realize I had no proof. Between my curiosity and my fear, I'd been a mess at the time anyway, and more than anything, without any kind of proof, I wasn't sure it had happened at all. When I finished, Ito's first questions were the same as mine had been. So there was a girl at the scene, and then someone tried to come into the room. The girl was real, but they couldn't find any evidence of someone trying to come into the room, could they? That was right. That was what the police had told me. Other similarities that the three cases have, obviously the sumo wrestler faces, appearing seemingly in each one, in some capacity. Actually, I wish we could get a zoom in of that, of the audio bleed picture again. Because I feel like we'd find that same sumo wrestler picture. In all three of them, I guarantee you, we know for the first two, but we don't know for certain on the third one, but we know that for the first two at least, they heard a knocking before they were killed. I heard the knocking, and I have the sound on my video. Just the sound, right? That doesn't prove that someone's on the other side of the door knocking. No, I mean, logically you're right, but I'm sure someone was on the other side. It'll cut me off, clearly irritated. Logically, I'm right. You're the one who's always telling me that logic is the only thing that matters, idiot. Don't call me an idiot. I just prefer to cover all my bases. Let's start with what we know for sure, right? Damn it. He could only say that because he hadn't heard it in person. A strange, eerie sound which hung in the depths of your ears and wouldn't let go. But that was true. I guess he's right, yeah. I hadn't seen someone trying to enter the room for myself. Maybe he took my silence as agreement. So, about this woman who was there. Oh, and that's why you were asking about his girlfriend.
She's more a girl than a woman.
Huh? A girl? Whoopsie daisy.
I think she was probably around my age, and I don't think she was older. She was the same age, or a year or two younger, maybe?
Maybe. I wasn't sure, but if Serica said so, she was probably right. A part of me is almost wondering if Serica is K. There's almost a part of me that wonders if Serica is K for some reason. I don't have any proof of this, it's just a hunch. A very strange hunch that I've got no evidence for. But it's just the way, I guess, that she acts that kind of puts me on the feeling like she's smarter than she lets on, I feel. She puts on this silly act a lot of the time, it feels like, but at the same time, she's smart. She is scary smart at times, especially knowing, like, hey, I gotta upload this before it gets deleted. Again, I got no proof, and I'm probably wrong, but I don't think it's impossible to consider Serica being K somehow. Maybe she just deepens her voice enough to sound like K, sound like a different person. Serica never had any evidence or proof for her statements, but she was often correct. But there was nothing about her in the news, was there? I looked back at Ito to check. Yeah, I checked everything from Gotham magazines to the official news, the official newspaper announcement. I even took a look at the aggregator wiki. There was nothing like that. I see. Which means we'll have to look for her ourselves, I guess. I flipped through the remaining papers. Any other clues? There was something I noticed when I was going through the footage. This one's nice and logical. I've got real proof after all. You're a petty little man, aren't you? Yeah, say what you like. It's finally time to tell Ito what I'd found. Where's that image I made yesterday? That nice picture of the sticker? There they are. Do you know what this is? Ito looked at the picture for a moment, uncertain. There they are.
見覚えあるな。なんだっけな。
I've seen this before. Where was it? He used his Pokecom to run a search.
そう。
Yeah, that's sumo wrestler sticker, right? Yep, that's what they call it, or sumo sticker for short. No one knows who's putting them up or why. There are a lot of theories about where they came from, but the first time they really showed up on the net was in 2007. At one point, they were famous enough that the TV stations were reporting on them, but after the 2009 Shibuya earthquake, everyone stopped talking about them. The city where the stickers were going up had been destroyed. People had bigger things to talk about. But starting sometime late last year, they started to appear in Shibuya again. There are a lot of different rumors about what they are. Of course, some people say they're just a prank, or say there's some kind of tagging, or some spiritual barrier of some sort. One of the stranger ones is the theory that it's actually a sumo wrestler putting up stickers of his own face. I like that one. But I don't think that's right. They call these things sumo wrestler stickers, but that's just because the man in them has a fat face. There's no actual proof that they're modeled after a sumo wrestler.
ちょっとストップ。
Hold it for a second. Ito cut me off as I was getting started. Come on, man, I was just about to get good.
いや、
Who cares? Do these stickers have anything to do with the
その
case?
シールと。わからない。
I don't know.
は？
Huh?
まだわからない。
I still don't know, but
でもな。こっちみんなの
the sticker
現場
placed
付
near
近
the
にあ
scene
った
of
歴史
Don't
シール
Look
は。
was this one.
これ。
This is a blown up version of the picture I showed you from the Don't Look case. It's the wall outside the karaoke place I went to.
僕、歴史シール。
Is this a sticker? Yeah.
多少
It's a
ぼや
little
けてる
blurry,
け
but
ど
I'm sure of it.
間違い。おい。
Wait, you're not telling me.
あ
Yep, there was one near the Love Hotel too, placed at a spot where it could see,
あ、やっ
could
ぱ
see
り
the crime
現場が
scene.
見える位置に。じゃあ、
Then
あれが。
what? What about audio bleed?
いや、
No, I don't know about that yet. I looked
昨日調
yesterday
べ
and
た
I
んだけ
couldn't
ど
find anything at the scene of the
少なく
incident,
とも
but
今まで撮った現場周りの画像に2つ続いた
you
偶
just
然に
learned
か
that
け
if
て
something
みるの
happens
はありだ
twice,
っ
it's
て
worth betting on, right?
今回証明され
Ito fell silent, as if he was thinking about something. Oh, I was hoping he'd be a little more surprised, but I guess that's the best I could expect. Or maybe there was just too much new information coming in at once for him to keep up.
ちなみに
By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago on the same date was the crucifixion. So, this one. The same one that Takumi witnessed. The first one that Takumi witnessed for himself.
その概要が
And here's the summary of the case. Hmm? For now, the dates match, but the actual cases don't seem to have much in
6
common
年
with
前
one
と
from
そこま
6
で
years
リン
ago.
クしてないように思える集団ダイブと同
Don't
じ
look
日
what
付の
happened
こ
on
っ
the
ちみん
same
な
day
は
as the group died,
被
but there
害
was
者は
only
一
one
人だし
victim, and we don't know for sure
そ
that
れ
it
に
was
ま
a
だ自殺
suicide.
と決まっているわけではないし妊娠男と同じ
Manchild
日付
happened
の
on the
元
same
彼
day
は
as audibly, but
腹部
while
に
both
異
of them
物を埋め
involved
込ん
something
だって
stuffed
いう
into his
点は
stomach,
一
the
緒だけ
victim in
ど
the latter was a
そも
girl.
そも被害者は女性だ貼り付けとラブホの
I
事
don't
件
see
は
anything in
目立
common
った
between
共通点は見
crucifixion
つからない
and the Love Hotel incident.
だから他
So,
に事
since we
件を
can't
追
find
う
any
な
other
ら
way
以
to
上
proceed with the case, I
歴
think
史
we
シ
should
ール
try
から
seeing
も
where
う
the
一度事件
sumo
を探っ
stickers
てみる
take
のもあ
us.
りだと思う
But maybe I was overthinking this, but there was no telling what else would be related to the case. Just in case, I decided to put up the data on the other new gen incidents from 6 years ago. October 10th, Vampire. October 23rd, Numbskull. October 28th, Finger Food. November 4th, Dokun Puzzle. Yeah, that should do it. I looked at the board and nodded in satisfaction.
現状の情報の整理は
That's about all
こ
we
んなもん
know
か
first now. Crucifixion, Vampire. Goes over there. Then numbskull. Then finger food. Then Dokin puzzle.
What's coffee?
As I finished going over the information, Serika got some cups ready. Oh no. Kazuki, who had been ignoring the conversation until now, suddenly stood up. She grabbed the cups from Serika with a speed you'd never believe she possessed.
Aw, it's fine, Hana-chan. You always make us stuff to drink, right?
She wants to make the drink. Kazuki shook her head rapidly from left to right, then motioned for Serika to sit down. Good work. No, it's fine. She's being nice enough to make it for us. I practically forced Serika to sit down in her chair. I guess she just really likes making coffee.
Huh? But
No, there was no way I was letting Serika do any kind of cooking. Oh. How bad was she? She was so bad I couldn't even let her make coffee. She was so bad that she once asked me what kind of dish soap I used to wash vegetables.
Oh no.
I breathed a sigh of relief as she reluctantly sat down. Now I see why the fear. Even Kazuki was relieved enough that you could actually tell that what she was feeling for once. She started to make the coffee. I turned around to see if Ito needed any. Bro was not the thinker. He was still thinking. He must have been thinking hard. He didn't even seem to notice that Serika was making coffee, which normally would have been cause for panic. I decided for now to put the coffee that Kazuki had made in front of him. He seemed to understand the situation and stretched out his hand. Hey, you still got that footage of the hotel room, right? Yeah, it's on my Pokecom and smartphone. I deleted all the other copies for safety reasons. Ito glared at my Pokecom for a moment and then turned toward me. Let me see it. Are you sure? I wasn't sure what to do. He must have been able to sense my uncertainty. The cops telling you not to tell anyone what happened? Yeah, but no, that's not the issue. I've already told you what happened, for one thing. It's more like... I don't know. If you see this in a TV show or a movie, this is where the hero would say, there's no going back. Undergoing a shocking event changes the way you feel about the rest of your life. When you learn a hidden secret, it changes you. Just like when I learned about my parents. It's a go. Let me see it. Ito saw that I was hesitating and cut me off. Saw it in person, right? I want to see it too. It didn't seem like he was going to change his mind. Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you.
alright, let's look at it on the computer more. It'll be easier to see on a bigger screen, right?
Serika, the only person who didn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, spoke up. Or maybe she just didn't think it was important.
Shin-chan's a club member, right? She has to see it.
Yeah. Ito smiled, as if he'd relaxed a little. He brought his hands up to his cheeks and gave them a slap to psych himself up. Okay, you copy it to the desktop for now. I'll shut down this browser. And then he froze. Huh? Huh? Shit. Look at this. Ito pointed up to the monitor, his voice shaking. Serika and I heard behind him to see what he was looking at. And gulped.
What is this video?
I don't know, it just showed up on the aggregator wiki. What? The curtains opened and the man appeared. Oh no! There was no mistaking it. It was that room in the Love Hotel. The man must have been Kakita. I couldn't see her face, but was that the girl? It had to be. Her clothes matched what I remembered. Hey, what the hell? Oh, Jesus. Why is it? It's actually animated? Hey? The bed spun around and the wire dug into Kakita's neck. There was no sound in the video. but I could hear the sound of the wire in the music box in my mind. Kokia's face took on a color very similar to what I'd seen in person. And the footage ended. Wait a minute, that angle. Was that that angle seemed really weird. I thought about that. Is that angle from outside? Hey, what the hell is this? Are you kidding me? Was that? Don't tell me that angle is where I think it was. Is it from the sumo wrestler face? That's what I think it might have been from. I think it might have been from the sumo wrestler face looking into the room. Hey, Mishiro! I almost jumped off the ground. Oh, sorry. What the hell is this? Did you make this video? Ito yelled at me hysterically. I quickly shook my head. Of course not. I was inside the room. Then what the hell is this? I don't know. How would I... Serika's hand suddenly reached out for us. Hey, what are you doing?
Stop. Calm down, Taku. Shin-chan. No fighting.
She grabbed us both by the cheek and pinched hard. Ow! Ah! That really hurts!
Did you calm down? No more yelling. No more fighting.
This really hurts. Please stop. Ito and I nodded and Serika let go. What was that for?
Because you two are yelling.
But you can't just... Ito rubbed his cheek and gave Serika an angry glare. She must have grabbed him really hard because I could see a red mark forming on his face in the shape of her hand. Do I have one of those too?
No fighting. You two like you're about to start hating each other, you know?
Serika repeated. She didn't seem to think she'd done anything wrong at all. No, maybe she hadn't. Hi. Kazuki gave Serika a thumbs up.
Yep.
Serika gave her a satisfied thumbs up in return. I don't get it. You know, you're going to be the kind of mom who says hitting is wrong and she beats up her kid. Ito's words impressed me. It was one of the most accurate predictions I'd heard in years. Serika frowned since she'd never do that.
So, Amy, what is this?
She points to the monitor. Why is there a new video? Again, I think it has to be from the sumo wrestler face looking into the room. They mentioned before also that there are a lot of security cameras put up around Shibuya now after the reconstruction. But I'm starting to wonder, are those sumo wrestler faces also cameras? She didn't seem too bothered by it. She must have been used to seeing gory videos because she looked pretty calm. I rubbed my cheeks as I looked at it again. Yeah, it's looking in. This is being filmed from outside, right? Are you sure it's the same room you're in? Absolutely. Look at the person whose head is turned at a very odd angle. Yeah, this is definitely... This has to be from... This is 100% from the angle that the shoot, why is it not coming to my head? From the outside. Are you sure it's the same room you're in? I nodded, a little uncertain. I think. I'm pretty sure that the body was like that too. Damn, what is this? The most concerning part is, why did it suddenly play on this computer? That's terrifying to me because that implies that's whoever's behind a lot of these incidents, or at least somebody who's part of them. They know who we are, and they know that we know. That we know, that there's more to the incidents. They're gonna do something.
Hey, shouldn't we save that file?
Yeah, you're right. There's no telling when it'll be deleted.
こんなもんいつ消さ
That
れ
was
る
enough
か
to
わ
bring
かん
Ito
ね
back to his senses. He saved the file to the PC with a slightly more unsteady hand than usual. Kazuki was still playing her game, but the rest of us stared at the download bar as it filled up little by little. And when it finished and the file was saved,
This wasn't just somebody playing a prank, right?
Sarika knew better than anyone else that it was no such thing, but she asked anyway. I nodded firmly. Somebody knows that we're on the trail here. Somebody who's involved in these incidents. And for some reason, they sent us something in regards to it. The question is why? Are they seeing this as a game? Do they want to send us more information so that we dive deeper into this incident until we can't drag ourselves out of it? Or maybe they're trying to, like, say, hey, we know that you're trying to figure this out. Don't. Or this is gonna end up happening to you next. Hey, who took this? Wait, who posted it?
いや
You know,
誰
friend.
がハッカー
I'm
じゃ
no
ない
hacker.
から
All we amateurs can figure out is
俺
that
ら素人
is
レ
that
ベルで
that's
分
the
かると
IP
して
address,
も
right?
IP
There's no
ア
way
ド
to
レス
use
くら
that
い
to
だ
track
ろ
them down.
個人だよ
You're right. Sometimes the media would say that the police used an IP address to track down a criminal's address, but strictly speaking, that wasn't quite right. Under some special circumstances, like a customer paying for a static address, it was possible, but most of the time you couldn't track down an individual PC from an IP address. And even if you could, the most you could track down was a PC, not a person. Several years ago, this had led to a very famous false arrest case. What the hell were we supposed to do now? I scratched my head, confused.
おい
Hey, while we're at it,
つ
let's
い
look
て
at
た
the
見
R
ちゃおう
one.
ぜ
Huh?
お前がラブ
The
ホテ
video
ルで
you
撮
took
っ
at
た
the
動
Love
画だ
Hotel.
よ
I already saw the last one. I don't think anything could bother me now. You're gonna be very sorely, like, upset. It just sounded like he was having a hard time believing what he'd seen was real. He'd already copied the file off the Pokecom and gone to open it. He probably was just overwhelmed. I know that was how I'd been.
間近で撮ってるか
I
ら
took it up close, so it's pretty brutal.
だぞ
I gave him a warning, and he responded with a firm nod. He clicked on the file. Alright.
しんちゃん
Shin-chan,
本
are
当
you
に
sure?
ああ
Yeah,
多分な
probably. I think she was a
文化系
humanities
だった
student.
ような
Oh, do you know the person and the girl? Ito was moving at a quick pace. His expression was serious, but he was having trouble hiding his excitement.
そんなことあるの
Is
か
that really possible?
んだよ
Come on, it's
マ
true,
ジだ
man.
って
We were following Ito down the hallway quickly. After seeing the video of the room at the Love Hotel, he'd said,
こいつ
I know this girl.
知ってるぞ
Interesting. He'd said that he knew the girl who'd been in the room with us. That couldn't be true. Sarah and I had insisted he was mistaken, but Ito wouldn't listen.
部会で見
I
かけ
saw
た
her
気
at a
がす
club
るん
leaders
だよ
meeting, I think. Even if he was right, the club leaders meeting was where all the leaders of the school clubs and teams got together. If she was there, did that mean she was a leader in some club? I asked Ito, but he just smirked a little.
わかんね
You
えぞ
don't know that. Our president at the nuclear club is terrible at talking
部
to
長が
groups
大
of
勢の
people,
人
and
の
our
前で
vice
喋
president
るの
was
が
in
苦
charge
手
of the
で
meeting itself.
副部長が部会ただの部員である
So
俺
I
が
had
出
to
てい
go
る
even
とこ
though
ろが
I'm
ある
just
ん
an
だか
ordinary
ら
member. Maybe there's someplace else like that.
苦手じゃない
I'm not terribly. I'm not terrible. I just. Well. I didn't like it. It made me nervous. Being in front of all those people, I mean. And everybody knows those meetings never actually led to anything productive. If you made a movie out of one of them, no one would go to see it.
なんていうか
Is what?
なんだいいだろ別に
Okay.
というか
And,
どこに
and
行くつも
anyway,
りなんだ
where
よ
are you going?
ここだ
Here. Ito suddenly stopped. It was a student council room on the 6th floor of the annex building.
なんで
Why?
部活紹介
We
とか
got
の
pictures
書
of
類
all
が写
club
真
members
付きで
here.
置いて
It'll
あ
be
るんだよ
faster than searching the
校
whole
内中
school, don't you
探すよ
think?
りいいだろ
But wait a sec. I mean, I guess he's got a point. I pull Yuto away from the door.
バカ
You idiot! What if Caruso was in
だ
there?
からどうするんだよ
Ito gave a little moan. If that
それはお前がなんとか
happens, you
任
just
せよ
try and fool her somehow.
If I was even remotely capable of that, we wouldn't be.
入ります
Excuse me.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, no, I ignored us completely and walked right into the room. Damn, now what? We just have to pray that she's not here. She's gonna be in here. That's not what I expected. There's somebody else here. Someone else very important. So, hi. Our eyes met and I suddenly forgot how to breathe. Yeah, I don't blame you. Hey, do you recognize us? Why? Hang on a sec. Her eyes are red here. Interesting. And no, I'm not talking about the blood tears or whatever. No, her the actual color of her eyes were red in the hotel, but here they're blue. It was that girl. You know what? Pain. At this point, I'm honestly more scared of the positive interactions than I am the negative. At least, with the negative delusions, I will get psychological damage. With the positive delusions, I might get physically banned.
タクル
Oh, hey, Kurusu.
あなたたちも
You're here too.
どうしたの全員で
Hey. This is interesting.
Takaru, what brings you three here?
え
Yeah.
Oh, no. The girl stared at us suspiciously. And then for the first time, she realized that I couldn't take my eyes off her.
何ほうけて
wrong
る
with
の
you three?
あなたたち
Oh, the words wouldn't come out. What do I say? Why is she even here? Why is she acting so normal? Alright, give me pain. Yep, give me pain. Without warning, the girl started to laugh.
やっと
Finally
見つけた
found you.
見つけましたよ
Found you.
Here comes the pain. Even Kurusu seemed uncertain of what to do as she stared at the girl. The girl jammed her hand inside her pocket. Knife. Took out... No, scissors. No, the butterfly knife. Ooh, extra fancy. She pointed the blade right at me.
宮代タクル
Mr. Takaru,
死ねよ
it's time for you to die.
Great. Is she really a murderer then? I tried to run. Nope. Save me, Thomas-on box and a suitable box. I tried to turn around and run out of the room, but unfortunately Ito was in my way. Thanks, Ito. I'm about to get stabbed in the back. I ran straight into him and fell backward onto the ground. Shit. Alarm bells were going off inside my head. Run, 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 run. Get off the ground and run. Oh,
捕まえた
incredible face.
Gotcha.
I felt something cold press up against my neck. Goodbye.
バイバイ
Bye bye. Indeed. I felt strangely detached and indifferent as I watched the blood spurt out from my own neck. Okay, let's actually see what actually happens. Even though I know it was just something I'd imagined, it still gave me goosebumps. Something like that could really happen right now. I just want anybody to give me an explanation.
のんちゃん
Nanchan, do
知
you
り
know
合いな
her?
の
Serika motioned toward the girl.
Huh?
え
Yeah,
え
this is
後輩
Arimura
2年生で
Hinai-san.
文芸部部長の有
She's
村
second
ひ
year
なえさ
who
ん
leads this literature club.
どうも
Oh,
です
hello.
The girl bowed to us.
クルス先輩のお
Are they
友
friends
達
of
で
yours,
すか
Kurusu-senpai?
ええ
Yes. That's Ito Shinji-kun and Onoe Serika. He's a third year and she's a second year. They're both in the newspaper club. And that's Mishiro Taku, the club president. He's also my little brother and a boy who doesn't know his place.
Kurusu's eyes narrowed as she glared at me. Thank Kurusu.
He's your brother? But your last name's... We're from an orphanage, you see. Ah, so your siblings, but not actually late, huh? Sounds kind of...
Oh dear, you're one of those.
Please don't act like this is some kind of novel.
Still doesn't seem kind of nice, she asked with a wink. You're one of those, aren't you? What? Why? What are you doing here? Why are you normal? I wiped my sweaty hands on my pants and tried to ignore my pounding heart. What are you doing? Hmm? Damn it. Get the words out. Takuro? Serika seemed to understand what I was trying to say and finished my sentence for me. Oh dear, don't do this.
What are you doing here, Arimura-san? What are you doing here, Arimura-san? Huh? I was talking to Kurusu-senpai about the culture festival. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I'll be going, I guess. Sorry, Kurusu-senpai.
I'm gonna have to figure out a way to separate these people's voices, I swear to God. Kurusu waved a hand and told her not to worry.
If you can't do it, you can't. I'll tell teachers that the Literature Club won't be participating in the culture festival, but... Yes? Are you absolutely sure you can't tell me what's going on? We girls have our secrets, you know. Alright, but I won't be able to help you next year, okay? Right, bye.
Hey, Kurusu, we gotta talk. The girl put her bag on her shoulder and bowed to us and then went to leave. Wait. I still haven't asked you about the things I need to. Her name, it was... Arimura-san. My voice was loud enough that I made her jump a little.
That scared me. You got a lot of energy.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. What is it?
I'm sorry I was so loud. I mean, listen, my face is turning red from nervousness. Damn it, this is always what happens when I talk to someone for the first time. What should I ask? I feel like I also get like this when I talk to people for the first time. I always get too nervous. In the hotel. You know what? For once, I just want to see it neutral. No. My mind.
Hotel?
What were you doing in the hotel? A moment? It felt like her body moved for just a moment. Arimura-san? I could see Kurusu frown in the corner of my eye. Aimura was still looking at me. Her expression hadn't changed. But for some reason, it felt like she was looking me over. Are you gonna start killing us now in this delusion? Arimura-san sighed annoyed.
Right, I'll confess.
Confess? No way, to murder?
I was hunting old men.
What? Huh?
You know what I mean by hunting? We'll go find a guy on the street and tell him he gets one...
Okay. What in the god? What? No! What? What? In other words, she had very scary friend. Bro, I'm just looking like Kurusu right now, just freaking staring like, what? That saying I say like that, we got pissed off. What is happening? And we killed him. No one said a word. What?
By the way, I know all your names and faces now, so I'm I can't... What? No! No, it was not. I couldn't think of any other good reason for her to be in that hotel. An awkward silence ensues. We wait for her to answer.
So you're the Hekio student came into the room?
Her tone of voice was perfectly normal. There was no surprise or anger, just a flat-level tone. But somehow that struck me as far more frightening. Even so, I nodded.
Can you say that out loud for me instead of just nodding? Were you the one who went into that room?
What? That's right.
そうだよ。
I see.
I couldn't tell if she cared or not.
あの、
So, what were you doing in that hotel?
ホテルで
I heard the door open on its own, and that's how you got in. Is that true?
Huh? The door? Wait, how do you know it opened on its own? I nodded.
Can you say it out loud for me instead of just nodding?
I don't... Okay, you're scaring me now. Huh?
本当だよ。
It's true. It opened from the inside.
内側。
I see.
Once again, she seemed to be looking me over. What was going on here? Arimura-san, is there something...
Anyway, goodbye.
Arimura-san ignored Caruso's questions and went to leave.
ちょっ
Wait,
と
could you please explain?
ですから。
Oh, my name is Light. I'm younger than you. And you're going to be killed, Miyashiro Takuru-senpai.
Thanks. Those were her last words before she left the room. She didn't seem at all surprised that I had questioned her, but I froze solid. Why? Why am I dying? Oh, I can look at this. Club President, Palace and Castle, where does the truth lie? Seeking that which is real. Trends, New Gen and Generation Shweemers, Episode 7, Commentary, Speech and Progress. Thank you, Moe Moe Q, my grace failure, we are. About to be about help you, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna look at the side stuff first before, okay. Who puts this on Hachiko? Lolololo. Creepy AF. This is a sumo sticker, isn't it? It actually looks kind of cute. Congrats on 500 retweets. What the heck is this thing? Who put this on Hachiko? Lolololo. Sumo woofer. Congrats on 1,000 retweets. Give me a break. I love Hachiko, but I don't care. Who put this on Hachiko? Lolololo. What's up with this thing? Cute, huh? This is hilarious. Retweet cat. Ibis. Who put this on Hachiko? Well, why is he going to die? October 2nd, 2015, Friday. At the same time, Dogonzaka, Shibuya. The sky had been overcast all day, and now it had finally begun to rain. Some of the news media that had been swarming around the Love Hotel decided it was a good time to go home. Others just took refuge in their vans, frowning. Meanwhile, Shinjo's mind raced as quickly as the men trying to flee the storm.
どういうことなんだ?
What's going on here? It all started right after midnight. Arimura Hinae, the Hekiho girl, had refused to give even her name until he relayed Momose's message to her. But as soon as she heard it, her attitude changed completely. His only choice now was to continue to do everything Momose's kid told him to do. The first thing she said was that there was almost no chance Arimura was the killer, and that it was safe to let her go. The second thing she'd said was that it would be smarter to let her go and see what she did. The third thing she said was that even if he did get some answers out of her, he wouldn't be able to make sense of them. Shinjo had used every bit of his authority to get her released. He'd been forced to suck up to some people he really didn't like, and in the end, she would be monitored and questioned by the police daily. Since they hadn't known if she had anything to do with Kakita's death, they'd used her assault on the police officer to bring her in. Either way, last evening marked 48 hours since her arrest. They had to decide whether to let her go or seek a warrant for detention. They hadn't found any physical evidence connecting her to Kakita's murder, and Arimura herself said,
何も覚えてい
I
ま
don't
せん
remember anything.
that was all she said, in fact. Provisional release at this point felt like a bit of a stretch of his authority, but it was a sensible decision. If anything here wasn't sensible, it was the fact that he was doing everything Momose's acquaintance asked of him. Who is this acquaintance, is what I want to know. He didn't have a plan to follow. This was the first time that happened, he thought. He only managed to be successful at his age around what Momose called the hardheads in Section 1 because he knew how to be flexible. The reason that many police officers could be stubborn and hard-headed was because most of the time, that was how you solved the case. Shinjo understood that the rules they clung to so fiercely, both written and unwritten, were the product of valuable experience. But he also understood that the unorthodox methods his senior detective friend had taught him were a weapon in their own right. Even if the higher-ups didn't like him using them, they brought him success. One good example was the time the profilers had told them that the person behind a string of assaults was a man in his 20s who had never left his house. He found out that the culprit was actually a runaway girl in her late teens who lived in a net cafe. He matched the internet logs that Section 1 had gathered with the data held by the CSD, a group that was on notoriously bad terms with Section 1. In the end, he cracked the case by logging onto an online game and tracking down several of its players, including the girl behind the attacks. Shinjo was, if nothing else, confident that he was capable of not letting preconceptions keep him from making the best choice. But this time, not only did he not know what was the best choice, he didn't even know if the choices he was making were good or bad. This is ending up just like Momose-san said it would. If he couldn't change things fast, he might end up being taken off the case. He looked at his watch and realized something. The man he was waiting for wasn't here. It had cost him quite a bit to get permission to show him the crime scene, and he was over 30 minutes late. Momose-san said that there was no way I could miss him. He didn't know what he looked like, but there was no way the officer standing guard outside could miss him.
Hey, you, wait!
Is this him? He heard a loud voice from the hallway. Shinjo decided that before he let him into the scene, he'd give him a lecture about his tardiness. He stopped, surprised. Who is it? A girl. Who are you? He didn't expect to see what he saw. He convinced himself that anyone weird enough to want to see a crime scene had to be a guy. But she looked like she'd be very pretty with makeup on, even if she wore none now. A frown was plastered on her face, and her long hair was half-heartedly tied behind her back. No, it's not her. She was also wearing a white lab coat, but under it was... a uniform. Isn't that... That uniform was for Hakiho Academy, the same school Arimura and the two kids who snuck into the crime scene attended. Shinjo motioned to the officer to let her pass, and remembered the last name he'd been given by Momose. Are you Kunosato-san?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I leave it to you all.
Oh!
So, you don't need my confirmation.
Why are you speaking English?
Huh?
Huh?
There's no time to waste, as you know. Here. Yeah.
Why are you speaking English?
Well, I gotta nurse this damn cop. Okay. Later, Chris.
Kurisu? No, it's not that Kurisu. She then hung up the phone and glared at Shinjo. She showed no sign of apologizing for her lateness or gawking at the scene of a murder. This is her. It has to be. When he saw how arrogantly she was behaving, he immediately knew that this had to be the Kunosato person that Mose had told him about. He felt a little overwhelmed by her, but tried to make his voice as strong as he could. Are you Kunosato-san? I know, knowing Momose-san, I figured I'd be ready for anything. I can't let a young girl into the crime scene. Don't act normal when you're surrounded by things that aren't normal. Didn't she tell you that would get in your way? Mio? Hey! She ignored Shinjo's words and walked right past him. She stepped right on top of the number plates that forensics had put on the ground to identify the locations of evidence. Then she looked up at the blinds placed in the window to stop the media from looking inside and stopped. Shinjo felt himself getting annoyed by her attitude, particularly what she just said about him in English. Dumb cop or not, you're going to do what I tell you. Right now, people think that every corpse is dead. Huh? You've got ears that can understand English, and you don't watch Fincher. Alright, I feel like enough tips have passed by. David Fincher, American movie director. The line Kunosato said is from the hit psychological suspense movie 8. Okay. Community Safety Division. This division of Japan's national police agency is responsible for juvenile delinquency, particularly drug-related crimes and cybercrimes such as unauthorized computer access, also known as hacking. Street art terminology are act painting a symbol of an individual or group on public property. These symbols are referred to as tags. While tags are effectively signatures, they are sometimes considered to be street art in and of itself. Since the vast majority of taggers don't get permission for their work, tagging is often considered a form of vandalism. She put her hand up to the blind that she'd been looking at. What are you doing? I'm asking if you really think this room is the only crime scene in this case. She kept her eyes on the exposed window. What? As she tossed him a Pokecom she fished out of her pocket. Shinjo grabbed it without thinking and looked down at it. Aha! The same video. He was stunned. It was footage of the room that he was in right now. That was probably Kakita, dead, and Arimura Hinae. What is this? A video that was just uploaded to the web. Her answer made Shinjo feel pissed off at everything, including himself. Why didn't he notice? Why did he have to be shown this by a girl he had just met? From outside the window. Yeah. He grabbed onto the window frame, looking for the spot where the video had been recorded from. But all he could see was the external wall of the building, slick with rain. There was only some kind of strange, creepy sticker there. Hey! Shinjo yelled out into the hallway. The officer outside had heard the tone of his voice and rushed inside. Shinjo pointed out at the window and said, "See off the building next door right now and give me forensics, and then track down where this video..." I don't know about the video, but you're probably not going to find anything next door. There's no sign of a camera having been placed on that wall. Huh? I copied the data at the security entrance and Frisia's team is going over it. But we're probably not going to find anything. We better not. She must have been enjoying this because Kunosato's frown twisted into a mischievous bully's expression. You're just enjoying this man's suffering. Again, he didn't understand. He didn't have time for this. He ignored her and ordered his men to steal the building, call forensics, and track down where that video was filmed. With that finished, he turned back to her. Is that why you were late? Focus on securing the scene. Channel picked up on this video right after it was posted, and it was uploaded only 40 minutes ago. More than 5,000 people have already seen it. You don't think any of them are with those media people down below? Wait, you can't... Who now? Oh no. This is Watabe with Nico News. I'd like your comment on... Oh god, not you again. I'm Kairi TV. I'm with Kairi TV. I'd like to ask you about... Get out, no pictures. Oh, for God's sake. You could hear yelling coming from the hallway. Damn it. That reporter again. It's not just him, it's a lot of people. Shinjo ran out into the hallway, infuriated. Are you in section 1? Did you see the video? Please don't come in without permission. We have no comment. No pushing. Did you see it or not? No comment. Well, Kunosato was still looking outside the window as she listened to the commotion in the hallway. The video has to be from the sticker itself. The stickers must be equipped with some kind of camera on them. Which means all those stickers all across Shibuya are surveillance cameras. Which is kind of terrifying, because that means that literally everything's being watched. She stuck her hands in her pockets and stared at the sticker on the opposite wall the way a person on top of a tall building stares down at the tiny people in the street below. Hey, how's it feel? How's it feel? The sticker pictured two ugly, overlapping faces. The rain made it look like they were crying. If there were any witnesses, if there was any witness, it was you, right? Kunosato smirked like a fighter facing down a worthy opponent. What is this sticker? October 2nd, 2015. Friday. Time passed. It was now almost midnight. Under a bridge in Shibuya, she walked with her head down so that others couldn't see her strange face. She was dragging her legs, so her body tilted a little. She didn't have an umbrella, so the rain that had fallen that evening made her long bangs cling to her forehead. Water dripped off of them. The eerie eyes that poked out from between her locks of hair looked like those of an animal hunting its prey. No one was moving but her. Normally, there would be people here at this hour. But the town left her alone, as if it had sensed something. She disappeared into an alley without anyone else noticing her. It was several minutes later when they appeared there. What? Who are you two? A girl less than 10 years old, and an old woman well over 70. The old woman might have been blind because she carried a stick and had her hand on the girl's shoulder. And the little girl was carrying something far too big for her tiny frame. Neither of them were carrying umbrellas, and both were soaking wet. They walked at a slow pace. Perhaps they knew the path well, or perhaps they simply didn't care, because they paid no attention to anything around them. And then, for the first time, the little girl saw something and stopped. The old woman stopped as well, and the only sound in the alley was the sound of the rain. The girl stood there for a full minute. Eventually, she turned her head and led the older woman away. All that was left there was the rain. That's a lot of stickers. And then the things on the wall. I didn't like that. A video of the scene had been passed around on the internet. The footage in question shows the body of a man who committed suicide in a love hotel. It was past midnight. All the news programs were talking about the video that had been uploaded to the internet that afternoon. Since there was a dead body in the video, none of the programs were actually playing it, but the newscasters had all described it. It was as if they were telling people to watch the rest of it on the web. Which means that people who are just hearing about this now will be looking at the internet, huh? Twibo was the best way to see what people were saying at any given moment. I opened it to take a look. Where can you see the thing they're talking about on TV? This is getting exciting. Link, here. I saw it, but I should have known better than to watch it this late at night. Someone tell me a funny joke or something. That's about what I expected. Whenever I searched for a keyword related to the case, I found tons of tweets about the video and the broadcast. The address of any page or aggregator site hosting the video was getting retweeted at an incredible rate. Of course, this was nothing new. Agile had already been in festival mode since the video had first been posted that evening. The video on the aggregator or wiki had been quickly deleted, but someone had saved it and uploaded it to a bunch of our sites. Those sites had deleted it too, so others had to repeat the process. So it's just being called the Love Hotel incident, interestingly. After the news, the threads on that channel had gotten bigger. Revolving Dead, huh? Sounds like it's gonna be what they call it. Oh, that's what we're calling it, the Revolving Dead. I didn't know who'd first come up with that name, but more and more people on that channel were using it. The Don't Look, Audio Bleed, and Revolving Dead. It was probably a play on the revolving bed the body had been found on. Since the body had been spinning too, the case was literally about the revolving dead. That channel, Tweepo, and all the aggregator sites and pages dealing with the case were in an uproar. I looked around and didn't see any new information. I'd seen it in person myself. I could easily tell when someone was lying or guessing. It's past midnight. What about this? There were no big updates on Shibuya News either. The top of the page was about the upload video, but it was basically just a rehash of existing info. I thought that with all this fuss, she'd be putting on a web radio broadcast. But maybe she was busy. There was nothing about the sumo stickers or Arimura-san, which made sense, I guess. Even Kei-san wasn't psychic. Only we and the police knew about Arimura-san, and only we knew about the stickers. Sumo stickers. Damn it. I did plan to check and see if there was a sticker around the scene of Audio Bleed today.
You're going to be killed, my Miyashiro Takaru-senpai.
I couldn't get the words she'd whispered out of my head. In the end, it started raining, and it had gone with the Ito's plan of trying to get more information about the video and learn more about Arimura-san. I hadn't made much progress with either. Of course, it had surprised me that Kurusu hadn't said anything. What does she mean by I'm going to be killed? The question came back to me again for the 100th time, and I still had no answer. What was she warning me about? Why had she told me I was going to be killed? Had I pissed her off somehow? No, it felt more like she was talking about someone else killing me. Then maybe it didn't matter if she hated me or not. And the timing didn't make sense either. We weren't talking about anything weird, we were just talking about the case. Was she telling me that if I kept looking into this, I would be killed? But that didn't make sense either. The police had ruled the death at the Love Hotel suicide. It was a strange way to kill yourself, sure, and after seeing it, I couldn't believe it was just a simple suicide, but... Did that mean Kakita had been murdered after all? Murdered by whoever had tried to come into the room. But the police had told me I'd been mistaken, and Ito had told me I couldn't prove it logically. Damn it. It was no good. It didn't make any sense. I was going to be killed. Had I crossed some line? You're gonna be killed, Miyashiro Takaru. I tried saying it aloud and shivered a little. Was I scared? Or... was I excited? I could feel myself starting to laugh. That was fine. That was just fine with me. If I crossed some line, I'd found out what it was. That was the difference between me and those morons on the internet. I could do it. I had lots of clues. The first was Arimura Hinai herself. And then... the sumo stickers. I'd only seen them at 2 of the crime scenes so far, but I could find one at Audio Bleed too. If I could find one at Audio Bleed too, I'd have a clue that no one else in the world had. I should go take a look tomorrow. And then... there was a video that had gone uploaded to the internet. Who upped it and why? Huh? I played the video one more time, then realized something. Wait a second. Why? Here too. Wait, it was a common thing you found in videos, so I never really noticed until now, but... I hadn't seen any comments on the internet saying anything about it either, but
なんでこんな
why
処
did
理
they
して
use
るん
this
だ
effect? There's something weird at the start and end of the video. The blinking effect, yeah. It was on screen for less than a second, but at the start, the image appeared from bottom to top. And then at the end, it went black from top to bottom. Like eyes. They weren't particularly unusual effects. The one at the start was often used in TV shows and movies when a character woke up. Of course, this was when the camera was showing his point of view. The one at the end was often used when a character was falling asleep or just before they passed out. Sometimes you could play both at high speed to make it look like someone was blinking. It was called a wipe. It was a method of transitioning video from one image to another. But why is it used here?
Huh?
Is it deliberately saying that this video is watching somebody? This video was clearly taken from next to the Love Hotel and almost perfectly at eye level. From the distance and angle, that much was clear. I spent so much time looking through a camera that I knew how to judge the distance between it and the things it saw. I was sure that if I asked the rest of the newspaper club, they'd agree. But the side of the building where this video was taken was a sheer wall. I could see that for myself in the video I'd taken. The only things I could see outside the window were a wall and a sticker. The uploaded video looked like it had been taken from someone's eyes. The sumo's eyes. Suddenly a dumb idea occurred to me. I looked at the picture of the sticker on the wall that I'd printed out. Nah. I shook my head to drive away that stupid delusion. I need to stay calm and logical. Tomorrow, I could go where the camera had probably been placed. Don't zoom in on it. What are you doing? Game? 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 Don't like that. Nope. Tear that thing off. Yep, don't like that. Yep. Yep, hated that. Apologize for being late. Test images spreading through Shibuya as expected. Continue to monitor situation. Yes. In the target. No issues. There is no sign they know my identity. I'm close enough to kill Miyashiro Takaru at any time. Excuseth youeth? Why am I the target? Sumo sticker. The cases cry their name. Chapter 2. Well, this seems like as good place of any to go ahead and save the game and let the trauma consume my soul. Anyways. Yep. I'm just gonna try and forget that ever happened. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you all later. Peace.